Well, we promised we'd go live when big news hits, and the hits are going to come. We knew today was going to be, I got to admit, we kind of hedged ourselves. Press and I knew we were coming live because we knew we'd get something pop on the first day of the portal opening up. But big news, we lose running back one for next year. He's a guy, Preston, who I'm telling you what, I've been high on Quinten Joyner for a long time. We saw a lot of it this year, that Penn State run, what he was able to do on numerous occasions, just the way he'd break tackles. For the longest time, he didn't have any runs, negative runs. He would not get stopped in the backfield. And even on that big run he had against Notre Dame, he gets hit, should have been for a loss, turns into a nice run up the left-hand side. Just a rough loss for USC. Your initial thoughts on losing Quinten Joyner?
My heart dropped. Didn't expect it. There was no rumors around it. There was nothing that I heard, nothing that I know of. And yeah, just kind of in shock. We talked about it on this show. I've talked about it in my videos. I thought he was going to be running back one for next year. I didn't think we would have to go into the portal to get another running back. I had full confidence in Quinten Joyner and what he was able to do, being an all-around back, right? Being able to break big runs, break tackles out of the backfield. Just had some amazing plays this year, even in the limited the carries that he was able to get, but averaging over 7.6 yards a carry, top in the Big Ten. But we ran the ball least in the Big Ten, and there's variables around this, financial stuff, all types of stuff. So yeah, today was crazy, but it could have been a lot worse. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, this is the new age of football, and it's not going to be just USC bleeding. This is going to happen across the country. Guys are going to go for their market value, and let's face it, you don't really have a coach and a recruiting staff anymore. You have pretty much a front office, and those programs that have an elite front office are the ones that we're seeing take off in the sport, and the ones that do not, it appears they're lagging behind. You get to decide tonight. Again, this is your guys' show, 888-997-4539. Let us know what you think of USC's roster building. Now, it's early, guys. Relax a little bit on this, though. Okay, everyone was jumping off the cliff because of the recruiting, early signing period start. And I got to say, USC did get and fill a lot of their needs. I mean, it's not often. A lot of classes would be very happy to get an elite 3 technique and have a 5-star quarterback in their class. That goes on for most programs would love to do that. This is a situation that you have where our fans, we're expecting what we want. USC does have a standard, but at the same time, you have to realize that that class is really solid. But it does make you kind of wonder what's going on, Preston. Are we able to recruit? Are we able to sign like elite classes like the rest of the country?
Yeah, like how is this staff's evaluation of talent, right? And we haven't been able to hold on to the talent, right? So can we manage? Do we have coaches on staff that may be, a little out of their element with what they're, in charge for currently? So it's unfortunate, but it's not just USC. As we talked about, man, we're seeing first year, second year players from Alabama, Georgia, all over the country, Miami, everybody's going through it. So it's just really something that we gotta just, I guess, acclimate for and get used to, because it doesn't like it's gonna stop anytime soon. And
oh, sorry.
You good? No.
Well, no, we got our first caller, so I was gonna say, Fisher thought we do have a caller. Caller, hang on 1 second.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I gotta say, man.
I had to fix the phone lines. Make sure we're
no, you're good.
So I had to pop off. Yeah. So guys, listen, call in. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it above the belt as well. Let's talk about what we know. We could talk about rumors. That's fine. Just don't start throwing. All I ask is you don't start throwing names like that, right? Let's try to keep it above board and have a little fun. Again, USC filled a lot of their needs. And remember, I thought about it this way: you have X amount of money in your war chest. And so, yes, there were some linebacker misses we had, right? There were some line misses that we had. But now we need to look at, okay, now we got a little bit of money to go shopping during the portal season. So I want to hear a couple things from you guys. I want to hear, who do you guys want? Who is it in the portal you want? Let's start off early on with that. I also would love to hear what position do you think we need the portal hardest for, Preston? I'll get your thoughts on that a little later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's your show. Talk what you want to talk about. I'd love to hear what position USC needs to hit the hardest. What is the priority in the portal for you as a Trojan fan? Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's from San Diego.
Russ.
What's up?
What's up, Russ?
Hey Tim, hey Preston. So yeah, I mean, I'll answer that question. I think it's the same as probably what everyone's thinking. Man, we need O-line and D-line, baby. We gotta get some bodies.
Can I make you pick one?
Fill those bodies up on the
Can I make you pick one?
I mean, that Western Kentucky guy, everyone seems pretty high on.
Oh yeah, I mean like one position. You're talking about one player, yeah. Yeah.
One position. I mean, I'd go offensive. I guess we need to do right tackle, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right tackle in there for sure with some experience.
Yeah. I'll take it. What else on your mind, Russ?
It's early. So it's early in this whole new thing of transfer portal, college football off season. So I don't want to, I'm not going to jump down anyone's, I'm not going to single anyone out. I'm not going to it's rumor why Joyner left, why this person left. I don't know a damn thing, right? Rumors are rumors. And, so I think, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just, I'm going to make an observation that I think a lot of people probably share. And it's just college football was cool because it was different. And right now this just isn't fun right now. The way these teams are being constructed and the way off seasons are going, this is even like people typically prefer people who prefer college football prefer it because it's different than the NFL. In the NFL, the sort of cynic will say like, well, listen, there might be a pro team there, but all those players are typically immersed in college football. Like they chose, there was like that sort of mutual agreement. We're going to stick this out. I'm going to go to your school and for the rest of my life, like that is who I am. That's what I was. I was a Trojan. I was a whatever. And, it has become, I mean, I want everyone to kind of realize where we're at right now. Like, I don't know if people have really thought about this. At least in the NFL, if you sign a contract, you have to stay there for
that's what we need, Russ. That's what we need.
Years, unless the team cuts you.
We're heading there.
That's what we need.
Yeah. Well, it's going to get you closer and closer to that NFL model that you were just talking about. But yeah, we're getting there.
Well, I mean, we're on the other, like when someone holds out in the NFL, like at least they've done something. At least they balled out, so they're holding out.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird. Like we're worse. Like the sense of loyalty has swung so far in such a short amount of time in college football. Like every player is like a 1-year rental waiting to happen. Like that's what every player is on your roster is a 1-year rental. I mean, it's like college basketball with the rentals now, the one and dones, except they're not done. They just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're one and done for your program, and then they go play for a different program.
What do you think, Preston?
Yeah.
So as far as what Russ is saying, he's saying it's basically becoming the NFL.
True. It's losing its luster, man. It's, growing up, I had favorite players and college was just different just because it felt like it meant more to the kids. It meant more to us. It was, I don't know. It was just different, but it's losing its luster. And, it's unfortunate because you get attached to players, you get attached to, certain guys on the team and, they leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, you hate to see it.
Well, you have so let's talk about let's talk about the differences in college football and NFL. First, you had regionality, which was a big part about You had the Pac-12, the Big Ten, you had the ACC, Southwestern Conference, right? You had areas. You say it, and you get a picture ahead of what the style of play is going to be like, what the fans are going to be like, what the weather's going to be like, and it was just that's the way it is now, right? Now you have the Big Ten that goes from Piscataway, right, all the way over in New Jersey, and clear across the country to Southern California and Los Angeles. So that's gone. We're talking about paying players. You're talking about, like you said, there's no contract, so it's true. It's not even free agent. It's just nuts. It's wild, wild west. There's no caps on anything, and you're seeing the programs that have been the most aggressive. So here's the thing people don't realize. Also, people think that all happened this year. No, the teams that are playing right now in the playoffs, a lot of these teams were very, very aggressive with how they interpreted the NIL rules. Let's face it, they were breaking the NIL rules, and they said, "What are you going to do about it?" Look at Tennessee. Look at how you reward Tennessee for what they did to the college football, right? It's not that just all of a sudden they just got there this year with their recruiting. It's these programs have been stacking the depth that you need by fudging the rules or interpreting the way you want to interpret them, okay? And that's the way a lot of the teams got here. But you know what? Now, guess what, USC? Wake up. It's out there now. Like, you don't be afraid of the NCAA. You have to go and do what everyone's doing. You have to get that together. The thing that bugs me at the most is they've literally changed the game, you guys. What pisses me off is the clock rules, the freaking clock rules. It's bad enough we go to the Big Ten where they play 1 yard in a cloud of dust and it's just boring ass football, right? And we're losing like two or three different possessions now simply because of the clock rules. But then you also play where people want to grind out the anaconda or the boa constrictor or all these snake names they want to call it. I call it boring as shit. You know what I mean? Like, I miss throwing the ball around and scores that look like baseball scores. I mean, how many Big Ten scores, look like baseball scores? And it just gets kind of boring to me. Maybe I just don't understand real football and real weather, but in days, I like watching the ball in the air with athletes making plays and stuff like that. So that's a big part of it. It's actually the way they've changed the game with the clock rules, and it's not to make the game any better. It's to squeeze more money out of the sport. So really, at the end of the day, what's going to kill college football? Because I said a couple years ago, Russ, I said a couple years ago that if you try to make it an NFL junior, which they are trying to make it, how many of you guys are regularly attending AAA ball games, minor league baseball games, or do you go to the major league parks?
Right.
Why on earth are you going to go, especially in Los Angeles, right, where you have two NFL teams, and places in Florida where you have NFL football, places in the Midwest where you have NFL football. I guess in the South, with the exception of Carolina and a couple of places, and maybe Tennessee, that maybe stays strong there. But as far as like the old school football. And then the second part of it pisses me off, and I love the playoffs, and I'm excited. I can lie. The 12-team playoff, we're not in it, but I'm pretty damn excited about a 12-team playoff, is you lose one game, you're definitely still in. You lose two games, you're probably still in. You might even be able to lose 3 games in a season. So now the whole thing about losing one game and you're out is completely gone. So there's so much that the sport's already changed. Things evolve, you guys. Things change, and that's fine with it. I just think they need to put some guardrails on this stuff because it's just way out of control. And Russ, just make sure if they get too close to the NFL model without the quality of players, again, if you're going to get that close to it, you're going to want to at least make it so you have the quality. And have you ever seen an NFL corner compared to a college corner? It's just not the same team. If you make the same exact game, why wouldn't you watch NFL? It's a completely higher level of football if you strip away everything that made college football great.
Yep.
I completely agree, and I think the NCAA needs to. I mean, they're not going to because they're bumbling idiots, obviously, but they need to realize that they need to bring back the stuff that made with guardrails. Listen, the cat's out of the bag. We're never going back, obviously, right? Like, we're never going back to the BCS era or whatever. Like, I've come to grips with that.
Thank God, yeah.
But like you said, there needs to be some guardrails where, the kids can still make some money, which, they're allowed to do in a meritocratic, society that we have. But they need to bring back, the thing that made it cool compared to the NFL, just guardrails. Again, I'm not not trying to sit in my rocking chair and, call for the days of 1995 college football, but they need to do this or else they're gonna start losing fans like they are, because this pendulum that we've gone through every offseason. It's like we get super excited about recruiting. Oh, look what kids we got, and then it's like 2 weeks later we lose 30% of the recruiting class we were excited about 1 year ago, and it's just like, people aren't going to want to deal with this.
If you look at the top 32 players from 2 years ago, I went with Gabe painstakingly through each one. 8 of the 32, it was 33. I'm fudging a little bit. Basically, I want to make my numbers easy. So basically, 25% of the guys that signed it, everyone got all excited about, they're no longer on that team anymore. So again, yeah, how many at the next year are gone, right? So I mean, it's gonna be like that now. We're losing Quinten Joyner, who was basically my favorite player on the damn team. He's gone now, so life moves on. And
we were all looking forward to him. We were all like, we got our running back, right? Like we got our we're ready to go with Quinten.
That was the one thing. And we're going to need to lean on our run game next year, guys. I hate to tell you it, but we are going to need to run on we're going to have to lean on our run game next year. Otherwise, this could be a long year. Hey, listen, Russ, appreciate your call all the time. Great
Thank
call
you.
as always, man.
Thanks for letting me ramble on, guys. I'll clear the line.
Appreciate it. Spot on.
No, that's not rambling. That was spot on. Yeah,
that was great.
It's something I've been talking about for a while. It's just the way it is. And life doesn't stay the same. I mean, look, if you look at college football like 40 years ago, it would probably put you guys to sleep. It's that game I'm talking about, right? It's just like, pitch right, pitch left. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is USC, student body right, student body left. But, I'm kind of glad that we kind of moved into the forward pass era. But it looks like we moved to the Big Ten. Now we're moving backwards again. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Sam from Kansas.
Hey, did you say Sam?
Yeah.
Hey, Sam. Nice to hear from you. How you doing?
Hey, Tim and Kristen.
How you doing?
I think we need a quarterback. I really do. I think we need a quarterback that can move in the pocket, that can extend plays with his legs. I think that's what we need in the portal. I think Jaden Mayava is okay, but I don't think he's the quarterback of the future.
Well, I think he can do that first part. I think Sam, he can do that first part you said. I think he can extend plays. I think he gets a little more comfortable in there. He's going to. He has the athleticism to do that. I will say that we went from Caleb Williams, who literally felt like the dude had eyes in the back. I mean, seriously, it seemed like he had eyes in the back of his head because he could feel that pressure. He knew when to step up. He knew when to get out. I mean, that was an elite level of pocket presence that he had. Miller also, everyone got. I mean, people just call him a statue.
Like Superman.
But Miller had a pretty good pocket presence, and he knew when to step up and move around. And I think you're going to see. You saw Jaden. I think I saw Jaden. He's going to get that poise. I think he needs a little more. I don't know, just maybe a little more seasoning. Whatever it is, I don't know. But he has all the tools, and he's a big guy. I'd like to see him. And he stood. By the way, he took some shots in that game. If you watch that Notre Dame game, he's not like he's not a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He's all that stuff. Where I will be critical, and I was surprised I kept hearing that he was going to be this dual threat guy, going to open the run games like that, and it was like he was reluctant to run a little bit. Again, I don't know why that was. Maybe it was. I don't know. I think here's one thing. We got to see Miller. Miller had, like, again, I've said he had 2 seasons and 3 springs with Lincoln Riley. So he had all that time in the offense. Jaden just got here, so he had 1 spring, 1 fall. He was sure he's been here, but he hasn't been taking first team reps until the last 4 weeks or so. So I mean, let's give him a little bit of time. But I will tell you, I was a bit shocked. I thought maybe his pre-snap reads could have been a little bit better. Picking up some of those blitzes and stuff. It just seems like it was very reactionary. It also seemed like he'd go through 1 progression, 2nd progression, and then it was just fade. And people say, why we keep calling fade plays? You guys, you realize there's more than 1 route available to the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So it did seem like that was it's a safe route because it's the sideline, right? You got the sideline and let your guy make a play. You don't have to worry about the middle of the field. That's what has me worried. Why wasn't he working the middle of the field more? That to me was like worrisome. But I'm not ready to pull again, I said Well, I'll say exactly what I said.
What I mean
I would
by
feel
that
more
is, like,
I'd be more comfortable if we had a guy that had all those tools and that could be mobile. You're talking about. Yes, of course, we all want that guy. He has that mobility. He has some mobility, and he is athletic. He's got an amazing arm. He's got a quick release. He's tough. He's a good leader. There's a lot to build on with Jaden. Right? I think we just need to give him some time.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I sat here and told you I'm totally comfortable with him going into next year, like, oh man, we got our guy, I'm not worried about it at all, I'd be lying through my teeth. But I will also say that he has everything, and with another year with Riley, he might actually be that Preston. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for in the bowl game as well. Like him being able to hit those second and third reads and really, scan the field and make the right decisions. Sam, is there any quarterbacks in the portal currently that you'd like to see at USC? Murphy or who? Malik Murphy just entered it from Duke. Tulane. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Tulane. I think he just
Castellanos is in there.
He led them to 9-4.
Okay. Not bad.
Also, defensive line. I think defensive line would be a huge get in the portal because how many times did we not get to the quarterback when we had a chance to?
Yes.
So I think defensive line would be a big get for us. We just got Stewart. He's a big one on the recruiting trail, but I'm talking about like defensive linemen, like big defensive linemen that, like Penn State had two that could get to the quarterback really quickly. Michigan, Oregon we need defensive line. Offensive line too, but defensive line is the big one.
I agree.
me personally, in order, I saw how our defense, the defensive line. Well, I mean, here's the problem, you guys.
Yeah.
We have a lot of young guys coming up, and I'm just gonna have to see them. I mean, they have a lot of potential. It's great, but we're losing our whole defense. So who do we need? We need some help on the defense. I mean,
the secondary too.
We do.
and I mean, I can't wait to see a lot of guys that you get up there and show out. But if you ask me for one position, look, until we stack that the defensive tackle position with quality depth, where we're going to lose one or two guys when guys are, and then more so just a rotation so that late in the season, I said it in the very beginning of the year, I didn't think we were going to lose Rakes. I didn't think we were going to lose Bear Alexander, but I said, I hope by like October, November, we don't start dropping games in fourth quarter. When do we start losing all these games? We would fade pretty early in the fourth quarter. Why? Because I think we just didn't have the depth on the line. And I want some quality depth there so you can rotate them. Yeah, throughout the year to protect them from injury, and during the game to protect them from injury, and so they don't get fatigued late in games. Yeah.
If we could have got to the quarterback more this year, I think that would have helped out our secondary, though.
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah, Sam. Listen. Go ahead. Sorry, finish what you're saying.
I was saying if we Michigan got to the quarterback a lot, Oregon did, Penn State. If we would have got to the quarterback more, that would have helped out our secondary because. How many times did they get torched when, the quarterback had all day in the pocket? Sometimes. Yeah,
it doesn't matter how good your secondary is. And we had a very good secondary. It doesn't matter how good they are. If you give that guy long enough, we saw that, again, late in the game, Penn State, there was time for them on the fourth down to get all the way across the field. Why? Because they were out of gas. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Can't just be chasing those guys around like that. Ah, man. We got the secondary, defensive line, linebacker, possibly a center.
But offensive line is a big get too.
Yeah, and a right tackle.
Because we're like losing three.
And a running back now, I think. Now we need a running back. So.
One is going to the portal.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we need a running back since Quinten left. Yeah. So if we get like 3 hits, will be good. We need depth too. Depth pieces. Like that's what I'm saying. Like with the quarterback, I would bring in a quarterback to challenge Jaden. Like, I think Jaden's probably our guy going forward, but if we bring in like a quarterback,
the name I heard
maybe
today is not going to challenge him, and I hear what you're saying, and I agree. Yeah.
You heard a name that's not. I'm interested in one name.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's out there. If I'm allowed to.
You don't got it. No. I'm not asking you to say it. I'm not asking.
I actually called someone and then asked them, and I didn't really, I didn't say, oh, by the way, I'm going on my show tonight. Can I talk about this? So I mean,
yeah.
But you guys look at
does that individual exist out here nowadays in the portal? Like,
well, no, the name I heard, I was not overwhelmed by.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
It's gonna be that true. It's gonna be that true backup quarterback. That's gonna be there. Think Jake Jensen. That's kind of what I kind of thought about. The guy's gonna be very capable. He could. He's a quarterback. He's a Division I quarterback. But it's not gonna wow. The name's not gonna wow. And I don't think he's gonna push Jaden for the position. So I mean, but listen, you guys, we have young people. We saw Cameron Fountain come on strong at the end. We know Braylon Shelby's been coming on strong for the last 2 years. Kobe Pepe has another year. I'm excited about Ratmana Bulabalavu. So I'm talking about the interior guys right now. Jide Absiri, Carlin Jones. I mean, so there are some guys that have been in there for a while, but we do lose some beef. We do lose some talent, and we lose there's seriously the the back seven guys we lose. There's a lot of guys losing. But then again, I'm Marcellus Williams. I'm a Bosco Brave. I can't wait to see him get his chance to shine. But man, losing like guys like Jalen Smith. Oh, and I forgot we're getting Lucas back, right? We're getting Gentry back.
Yeah.
So these are the conversations we do have to realize is yes, we are losing a lot, but we're also gaining some of the guys we lost during the season. So we need a lot of help all over the place. And believe me, don't look to any of these true freshmen to be that guy.
That's a bad mistake.
Bad mistake. I'm excited to see our young guys in the bowl game. That's what I'm excited to see. Our young guys. I think that's going to be exciting.
It's going to be
to
like
see what we have for next year.
It's
our young guys for the bowl game.
Yeah, we've talked about it for a while. How cool! People have said, I don't think it'll ever happen, but they've talked about we should have exhibition games in the spring, so it means something. Blah blah. Well, guess what? That's what bowl games are now. If you're not in the playoffs, you now have your spring game moved back about 5 months, and now you do it in December, and that's when you put all your young guys out because these bowls are going to mean less and less and less, and it's just more to get ready for the next year. Yeah.
Both Texas A&M and USC are going to look totally different in the bowl game.
I hope Texas A&M. I didn't follow what they've lost, but I sure hope they lose a lot too.
Did they lose Scorton? Did they lose them? I hope so.
In a moment, we're going to talk about the offensive line, by the way, for USC, because that's going to be interesting for me in this bowl game. But Detective Loki, thank you so much. First off, for being a member of the channel. You guys remember, you guys can get memberships all the time. We're going to do some in the offseason. We're going to do some rewatches if we can stomach it. I don't think we're going to watch the losses. I think we'll go back and watch the victories. I want to watch some of the games with Jada Mayava in them, especially. So we're going to do that for members. If you're a member of the channel, we're going to have some private viewings. If you want to join us, I'll bring someone's more interested. At least one like Preston. Maybe I can blackmail Gabe into coming on, or a couple other people. Maybe some like the Torch guys. Maybe I can threaten them with something that I don't know, and they might show up, and we could do those shows. But I will be there with at least one other person, and we will do some of these watch parties if you are a member of the channel. So thank you so much, by the way, Detective Loki, and thank you for gifting 2 memberships to the channel. Appreciate you being here and appreciate your generosity so much. So offensive line, guys. Oh, by the way, sorry, Sam. Listen, appreciate the call. Any final words before you go? I got my call queue stacking up. I got 3 people now.
That's good.
Thanks, Sam.
Fight on, guys.
Fight on.
Justin, fight on, Tim.
Fight on, Sam. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you calling in and appreciate you being here.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried, really, about the
Tim.
offensive line situation.
Tim, remember when I told you that I wanted to get Raymond in there because I and you see who left us today, right? Like, we should have had him in there. There's no reason why you don't put Tobias Raymond in there, and now you lose your right tackle who wasn't doing fantastic. So. But hopefully he gets opportunity in the bowl game and they compete, leading up to this stuff.
Tobias Raymond is I mean, I remember when he first came in, I'm like, oh, he's got to put a little bit of weight on, maybe a little bit of project. That dude just went boom. Benny Wiley and Rachel Suba just gave him the mojo. And that guy got, when I saw him in the spring game, I was like, holy crap. This is last year. I'm like,
He's a dude.
You know, I'm like, holy crap. This guy is huge. I know this name and I know this phone number. Mr. Walnuts, how are you doing, sir?
Mr. Walnuts.
What up?
The weather today, folks. But let me
Man.
I'm not going to stop you from calling the show, man. Let me tell you, this has been a really tough day for me dealing with this, and then also on top losing some of the players as well. But, you know, things happen for a reason, and it's unfortunate to see one of my favorite players, you know, leave like this. But, you know, you never know when someone's in their ear or when whatever happened behind the scenes. Unfortunately, guys like me will probably never know, but it is sad to see him go. And now it's time for the next person to stand up and move into that spot and show us what they're made of. And you know what? I'm always optimistic about the future of this university and this team. And I look at guys like Marcellus, who I'm so excited about.
Yes.
Secondary.
Yes, sir.
He's a Bosco guy.
That's right.
For great things to happen with this guy. And then I look at guys like Marquise Gallegos and all these other guys. And
Desmond Stevens.
And look at our young linebacker crew that we got there. Yeah, we're loaded, and we're loaded with these guys. I think they're ready to step up and take control and really show what they're about. And you know, if it is true that we do lose, I'm not spreading rumors, but if some of the receivers do leave, then you know what, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some guys that want to stick around. You know, it used to mean something to be a part of an institution, a university like USC. And I still believe in that. I really do. I think it's a privilege to come play here. Not only are you receiving the best education you probably could ever receive in this country, but also on top of that, it's just the whole experience, the USC experience, and that means for something to me, and that always will until the day I die. Because I'll tell you what, it's all about being a Trojan, man. Fight on, guys. And one more thing, though, I'll definitely want you to know I feel so much better just talking to you guys. And you guys just keep up spreading the good vibes out there, man. I know this is tough, but we're definitely, like I said, I'm really excited about the guys that are waiting. They're probably chomping at the bit to show what they're capable. And Marcellus and Gallegos, I expect some big things out of them this next coming year. So you guys take care. Fight on, man.
Fight on.
Fight on, Polly. Feel better, man.
Feel better. Yeah, absolutely feel better. And listen, these shows are the highlights of my week. And I'm not gonna lie, Polly, I play favorites. You know, it's not, you guys aren't my kids. I could play favorites. And Polly, sorry guys, till someone proves otherwise, Polly's my favorite. Sorry,
great,
he just is. And you know, here's what's weird. What Polly brought up. Can you imagine all these guys now going to these different schools and stuff? Pretty soon, who are they gonna name? For, you know, the preview where they talk about like Marcus Allen, University of Southern California, right? What are they going to say? The last school they went to, the school they were there the longest? Is it where they got their degree and then they portaled out for 1 year for the grad school? I mean, how are you going to name this stuff? I mean, I'm thinking, again, it's just that part of this game is just going to go away. You know, kind of like growing up in the same Dodger infield your whole life. You know, if you're lucky enough to have that for the better part of a decade. Free agency is money is part of life. It's just a shame that it just seems like this is it. This is new football. So those of us got to watch the other football where bowl games meant everything, where every game, every loss, if you lose in Corvallis, your season's over. All that's gone. They have definitely gone to the NFL model, Preston.
Oh man. Yep. Dark days, man. Dark days.
Well, who knows? It's different. all I'm gonna say is it's different, right? Listen,
yeah,
it's
different. It's different.
That's life.
It's in its infancy, though. I have to get used to it. I have to acclimate, man. Like, I care too much about this. I got pictures of players on my walls in my house. What if one of these guys transfers?
You have to get a new picture.
Well, it already happened. I had to throw it away. I had to throw the picture away. All right, let's go.
Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Kobe from North San Antonio. I'm actually from South County, from Laguna Hills, but I moved out to Texas a couple years ago. So I wanted to say, I think if we're going to be able to compete at the level we'd like to next year, we have to hit the portal really hard this offseason. I'm talking like similar to that of the 2022 class, when we had immediate impact players brought onto a team, that just finished 4-8 the prior year. You saw how big of a difference that made with the Caleb Williams of the world, the Jordan Addisons of the world. And I think it's really a make or to break a year for Lincoln Riley. I mean, you have the tools, you have the resources, but some of these things you just have to question, man, whether it's like lack of contact with the Bosco or modern day kids or clock management. So it's just, to me, I think they really need to go hard this offseason. And despite our losses so far in the portal, something that I did find encouraging was that we already made the top 4 for that defensive tackle from Kentucky, Keyshawn Silver. That man's a beast, man. I'm telling you, he's a total run stuffer. So, like, the fact that they made the top 4 for him is encouraging to me that they're taking it seriously and recognize they need to plug these holes.
Yeah. By the way, graphic courtesy of Gabe over at Trojan Blade. Yeah, this guy is a big guy. This is what I'm talking about, Preston. When I'm talking about getting depth on the defensive interior, allowing the guys to rotate more with quality depth, preserving them not only for later in the game, their playmakers, but also for later in the season. This guy's going to eat, and I would love to see him in Cardinal Gold next year. Absolutely, without a doubt. And Gabe, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the graphic.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was the first guy on my list, man. When I did, my portal videos, the first guy on the list. Exactly what we need, and this is all. It was very encouraging to see that tonight that we are in the top 4. And Lincoln and his staff do a great job in the portal. They really usually do a good job, but this year has to be the best job they've ever done, in my opinion. It's truly that important for Lincoln, for the university, for the program. So hopefully they can knock it out of the park. Hopefully they don't care about, spending a little bit of coin, because it will be worth it in the long run, I believe. So
I can just point my finger to look at the programs that are ranked really high right now. These are the guys that are going out and they're getting the best guys from other teams. They're not taking the cast-offs. They're going and they're getting the guys that maybe feel that they could spread their wings and move up a rung. That's where you want to go. You want guys that are ready to go and push for a national championship, but also get paid. Because believe me, these guys all at that level are going to want to get paid. And we're going to see. We've been hearing that the money's there. I believe the money's there. We need to see some of these deals close where not only we're getting those guys that are going to be the role players, but we also need the guys that are going to be the difference makers on this season. And we're going to need some of them. Yes, we have really great young talent like Paulie said. He brought up Marquis Gallegos. He brought up Bosco Brave, Marcellus Williams. We talked about Desmond Stevens. There's guys at Cameron Fountain. There's a lot of young, great talent.
Elijah Newby. I mean, we can go. The defense has the young guys out there that are exciting, right? And you got Gentry and Davis coming back to support, but we're gonna need some. I'm just saying, we need to go high level and bring this roster up a rung. I really do think that's because if you look at Ohio State, that's what they're doing. You look at Oregon, that's all they ever do. And let's look at probably the 2 teams that most likely will probably walk away with this thing. It's probably gonna be one of those because I'm telling you, until Georgia shows themselves on offense, anyway, Beck's hurt. Who knows if he'll be back, when he'll be back, whatever. So that's one of the names out there, one of the big names. What else you got for me, Kobe?
Let's see. I mean, weapons in SoCal and that available talent that we are able to bring in, like the Zachariah Branches of the world, the Makai Lemons, that's never the problem here. If you want to get back to dominance, like you guys said, it starts with the line play, which you guys know full well. But that's what they need to hit hard. They need to get a tackle. They probably need to get another interior lineman, starter caliber guys. They probably need another interior guy. Hopefully it's Keyshawn Silver, if not someone else. I like that. Gabriel Lightfoot kid from Fresno State.
Yeah.
And
more size.
If you asked me before this off, what's that?
I just said more size. Yeah, absolutely. You're singing my tune. I like all this. Yeah, keep going.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I mean, it starts with the lines, and that's where I would have focused going into this offseason. But granted, the departures. I mean, the secondary, we lose everyone, and then I think the experience at linebacker, I like Gentry. I like Desmond Stevens. Stevens is raw. I think Rajon Davis and Newby are both serviceable, but I really think they still need to bring in a guy who has starter experience, a guy who's perhaps like a all-conference player similar to that of Easton Mazarenkas Arnold, just to be another force out there. Because a lot of the guys, they have the talent, but they are young. They are true freshmen. They are sophomores. And if I had a question for you guys, what came to mind, the fact that we had lost Joyner earlier today, is could you give me a name in the portal of the running backs available who you think would be a good fit, or if you had a wish list, who you would pick out of the portal?
Ooh, wow. A wish list?
I wasn't planning on going to the portal, so I have 0 names because I didn't want to go to the portal this offseason. I haven't even looked at running backs since this happened. Like, crazy.
Well, there is, I think Gabe was talking about that they had offered a Ute, 5'8", 205, Jalen Glover. You know, I'm not sure if that, again, if we're talking about running backs, and it's tough because I don't want to name anybody's name after losing Quinten Joyner. I need to see a little more information on him. But man, like if we got to trade up, and that might be one position. I was talking to, I think Rusty brought up, you know, the fact that that's one position that it's gonna be hard to trade up on, because losing Quinten Joyner is a big hit. I mean, so I don't want to mess up the quote. Lincoln Riley today on Trojans Live made the comment where let me just paraphrase it. Basically, that some players feel that their value is probably more than their ability. And yeah, I'm not saying that's the case here with Quinten Joyner, because clearly he is definitely a quality player. If that is the case, whatever number he was looking for must have been very, very high, because I think that guy is worth his weight. But running back, just like the NFL, do you know what I mean? Running back is not a position, unless you are like a generational running back, you know, or someone just like absolutely super special. You're not really, they don't value running backs. You know, they value that 3 technique, corners, you know, left tackles, quarterbacks, right? Those guys that make a huge difference on your team. Running backs in the old days were the big thing, but they aren't valued. I'm just saying this year, going into this offense next year, I really thought that Quinten Joyner was going to be a special person, in that I think that this offense is going to have to lean heavily on the run game to be successful. And so losing someone with his combat, because when I see Quinten Joyner, right, and we'll go off Quinten Joyner because he's gone. Okay, most likely he's gone. So I'm going to keep lamenting this. But look, I see a guy who's an ankle breaker, right? He's got the moves to break ankles. He's a tackle breaker. Through the whole, good luck trying to arm tackle him. And he's an angle breaker with that speed. We saw the breakaway speed. We just saw that breakaway speed. And those guys don't grow on trees. So as far as replacing him, I don't know if we can, but I'm sure there's guys. Listen, and by the way, so we said all that, but you guys ever heard of Travis Dye? I think they got a guy named Travis. You got heard of Marshawn Lloyd? Right. And then you have Woody coming in here and rush for, like, what do you end up with? Like 1,300 yards? I can't remember what he ended up with.
Like 12, yeah.
So, I mean, again, also until this staff proves that they can't bring in a guy of that quality, then maybe, because who here in December was talking about, you know, Woody, right? Marks. Were any of us talking about Woody Marks in December? None of us were. So, I mean, let's let the process play out. Let's watch what evolves. Because right now, there's a lot of guys that are playing in bowl games and in the playoffs that aren't available yet, but they will be available. And remember the second run, not really as much, but you can get some big difference makers in the springs. You have these young, here's the thing, all these 5-stars, these people keep stacking, you know, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, they keep stacking, you know, Oregon, they keep stacking these 5-stars and 4-stars. Well, they can't all play. Yeah. So they're going to want homes. So I think that we won't know what this roster looks like until probably the middle of summer. So.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing in regards to waiting it out, because I'm looking at the portal list right now, and there's no names out there that stand out so far. But I agree. They totally hit on running backs. If you look at the past 3 years, Dye and Jones the first year, those guys were a great tandem until Dye got injured.
Oh, yeah.
We had
Austin Jones.
Third round, he was shifty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Woody Marks. Those guys were all great. So
yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. You probably wait till bowl season, if not spring, and hopefully there's some names out there, whether they're under the radar or not. I think they've recruited pretty well, especially out of the portal when it comes to that position. But I do agree they do need to lean on the run game a lot more, especially if Maeva's the guy and you're running some read options or trying to get his legs involved a little more, I know he's not like a true running dual threat. He can scramble a little bit, but you're gonna need the guy who can ground and pound and take a lot more reps than we gave, Joyner or Marks this year.
And he will keep him honest, but I'll say this though, okay, depending on who we get for that backup quarterback role, if it's not a guy that's really truly going to push him for that position, how much do you want to see your QB1 running the ball? If on any play he's going to be sidelined for the rest of the season. So I mean that's something also to think about, depending on who they can pick up.
Yeah, I mean if you look at Riley's most successful offenses, whether at Oklahoma or here, it was with a true dual running threat, and I think the one of the few quarterbacks that got set and benched in favor of a mobile quarterback was Spencer Rattler. He had a good arm, but their offense just wasn't as explosive when he was at OU. And he's like, okay, let's turn to Caleb. And you saw what he could do when he bounced off tacklers and run for 80 yards, I think that really opens up his style of offense. And not to downplay, like I'm not saying Miller Moss was a statue. He's a great kid.
He wasn't a statue.
But if you want to see this, if you want to see this offense open up, I think you need guys that can really take off and run.
Yeah. And you know what? To be fair to Lincoln Riley, it's not just Lincoln Riley's offense. It just seems like those mobile quarterbacks, Preston, they're nice toys. They're nice toys to have. Anyway, outside of Joe Burrow, I mean, I'm sure there's some other exceptions, but most of the guys you see that are taking over in college and the NFL, they at least have the ability, like you said, to extend plays. Not a true dual threat, but a guy that can extend plays and he can get you that 5 to 8 yards. And listen, I think that Jaden can do that. I'm saying I was sold by people saying that he's going to take that, not house it, but he's going to take it 30 yards down the field. And I think he's like one of those long striders where he gets moving. He's hard to bring down. He's a big guy and he can get going. It doesn't seem like he has that just shoot, not there. Boom, I'm gone. Right. That's what I want him to see, this evolution. He could be that, but then go back to what I just said. If they can't bring in a quality backup that we feel comfortable about in case of Mayday, in case he takes a hit, he gets a concussion, right? I mean, that happens. Remember, everyone got really excited when Jackson Dart, he's tearing up the Cougars. He's tearing up Washington State. Dude didn't get down and got his clock clean, and he was out for a while. So, I mean, that could happen instantly. God forbid, a longer injury, right? So, do we want him running in that case? And the answer to that, Kobe might be wrong. Kobe, any last thoughts before we get you out of here? We got a couple people stacked up.
No, I appreciate all you guys do for covering the Trojans. Fight on, and God bless you guys.
God bless you too, man. Thank you for being here. Preston, I think I can speak for Preston. We appreciate you guys being here. Otherwise, Preston we would just be talking ball. I mean, Gabe at Trojan Blade thanks you, because if I'm not on here, I'm like bothering him talking about Trojan football. So I'm sure he thinks somewhere out there he's thanking you guys. But appreciate you calling in. Great call.
Thanks, man.
That was for guys. Have a good night.
That was for everybody. I've been lagging on the applause.
Because USC sucks.
Oops, I hit the wrong button.
It's like, who's that, man?
Huh? Oh, that I gotta save that for the right moment.
Yeah.
That's a sound clip that threw me off. One time I was watching a live show and I went, huh? So like, I'm saving that though for the right time. It's got to be the right moment. It has to be the right moment to unleash that one. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Craig from New York City. How you doing, man?
Hey, Craig. Thank you so much. Appreciate you calling in. 1 second. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I haven't hit this. the Penn State guy. First off, thank you for your support of this show. I've seen you in our chat a lot. You've been showing up and you've been dropping super chats as well. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here. Missed the beginning of the show. You guys think tampering went on with Joyner to enter the portal because doesn't make sense that he would leave being RB1 next year. Go ahead, take first bite of the apple on that one.
I don't have the information to say that he's been. I mean, there's a lot of tampering. It's rampant in college football. Guys jump in because they're contacting. They're like, I want to jump in. I'm not happy where I'm at. But is this what happened in this scenario? I don't believe so. So that'd be my answer to that.
Yeah, I think Joyner had lots of reasons not to be happy this year. I think It's both. I mean, I hear it's like anything. Is it Moss or is it Maava? Is it this or that? I want to have that meme, just throw it up all the time. Why not both, right? That thing, because it's both. We don't feature our running backs as much, I think, as me being the amateur play caller I am. I think we had opportunities. But remember this also, everyone wants to talk about RPOs. The quarterback has the option to hand the ball off. It just seems like they would hang on to it a lot more than they would hand it off. Is that the play call or is that the read? I mean, you can go back and forth either way on that if you want. But however this thing meshes out, I think that his dad was vocal about not being happy about the number of carries he was getting. Very vocal if you're on Twitter. And quite rightfully so. The guy averaged, like you said, 7.6 yards a carry.
Yeah, it made no sense, man. Makes no sense.
Maybe 5 or 6 less throws, and the guy breaks. I mean, anytime God, here I am talking. See, I said I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. Here I go.
He's gone.
It's Penn State guy's fault. It's your fault, man. He could break at any moment. He gets through that line again. Someone tries to arm tackle him. He straight arms, a linebacker or a safety right out of the hole, and he's gone. So, I mean, I don't know why he didn't get more opportunities. And NIL, obviously, if you read between the lines on what was said on Trojans Live, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but it seemed like it was addressed right away and was talked about. Seems kind of like that might go in line with this. Who knows the situation? Bottom line is he's gone, and we're 3 for 3 on running backs to the portal. So let's hope for 4 for 4, right? Let's do that.
Of course.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, caller. I forgot your name. What's your name again? Craig from New York.
Oh, Craig.
My bad, Craig. I should remember that.
Doing, man?
Good. Nice to hear from you again.
It's okay. Yeah, man. I couldn't help myself, guys. I just don't know how we lose a freshman running back that averages 7 yards a carry, and we offer him $35,000 for an NIL deal, and the average starting running back gets about $300,000. And we offer him $35,000.
I heard that was
not even like speculation.
That's the word.
I just want everybody to know. That's a fact. We offered him $35,000, and the average starting running backs makes about $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
We got big problems, guys.
That's the numbers being thrown around there. I mean, I wonder what Woody Marsh was making last year, because remember, he wasn't the starting running back last year. He very well could have been 1B, and if I was the coach, he probably would have been 1B. But the point is he wasn't the starting running back, and they do negotiate those terms early. I've heard conflicting things about it was going to be 35 again. I don't want to go there. By the way, I would be very suspect. Anyone here in the chat, does that sound like a likely story that USC, because he was going to be running back 1, and as you're saying, 300,000 is the going rate. I think there was some communication here. Whatever it is, though, is not excusable. Whatever it is, whoever's in charge, right, ultimately of getting these deals done, needed to get this done with Quinten Joyner early and on it, because I don't believe that the offer was 35,000. I think there's some miscommunication from what I've heard. That's not completely accurate.
Do you have a DM? I'll DM you the proof.
Well, I can tell you. I can tell you, Craig. I'm not doubting that his.
They started at.
Hang on.
Starting at 35,000.
Hey, hang on a second. Okay, so wait. So for this upcoming season, are they doing NIL right now? Rewriting the NIL right now in December? Probably. You're right. So you're telling me that you have proof that he was offered 35,000 for this coming year?
I have proof. I'll show it for your eyes. Only have proof. He was offered 35,000. Negotiating started at 35,000.
Tim_Prangley
representatives, right?
Tim_Prangley at X. Tim_Prangley at Instagram. Go. I'd love to see it. I would. And if it's for my eyes only, it won't leave me. But I promise I won't put it. I won't make it. But I would love to see that, because that makes no sense. That's a huge error if that's the situation.
That's my point. That's why I think it's time for. I'm gonna DM you, right? And I think it's time, like, when you see this, I think it's time that we have a real conversation about, because I don't even know, I don't want to like blame this on Lincoln Riley. I know for a fact that Lincoln Riley has like some knowledge about like the contracts. I'm not sure who does that as far as like negotiating NIL. If Lincoln Riley's involved in that, is that Jen Cohen or somebody else? But if Lincoln is involved in this and had knowledge that he was going to pay his $35,000 for a starting running back, that just shows me that he's asleep at the wheel, kind of like bringing the same defense that couldn't get it done in Oklahoma and bringing it here to USC and wasting a Heisman year with Caleb and then coming back and trying to do it again 2 years with Caleb. That just means he's not the guy, and unfortunately it's time for him to go. But, guys, I have great news. Our future head coach is on our roster, and he's DeAnthony Lynn. We need to fire Lincoln, eat the salary, and just pay DeAnthony Lynn, make Coach Handy the defensive coordinator, and go about our business, man. Like, this is going on
Craig.
long enough.
Craig, okay. All right, Craig. Hey, listen, it's a strong take. I like it. That's what the show's for. All right, and I'm with you on some levels. Roger, I heard those same things that you're talking about. Okay, I don't want that. Again, there's speculation and rumor, and we may never know. I mean, like I said, I think that one side has leaked stuff out. This isn't usually a concept that kind of gets into the public sphere. I think there was kind of some bad blood before all this stuff. I think there were some not happy people. I don't want to go into speculation because I don't know. I don't know any situation. And I certainly don't want to propose one side of the story is the accurate side of the story. I think there's some truth to a lot of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning anybody that's reporting it, or I'm not questioning anybody that leaked the information. I'm not questioning any of that. I'm saying there's always two sides to a story, and there's probably more to it. I would say this. I bet you there's more to it than just that. I would bet, because why on earth? Let's just look at point blank. Lincoln Riley's calling the plays. He knows how Quinten Joyner's running. So regardless of what's going on, you know that he knows that Quinten Joyner is a valuable part of the team. He said on the show. Now I don't think that he thinks that Lincoln Riley thinks that Quinten Joyner's worth $35,000. Okay, so we can put that part that's what he wants to pay him. And I think it might be insulting for a guy who ran that well, because he's going to go somewhere and probably rush for 1,500 yards next year. You can clip that if you want. He's probably going to run for about 1,500 yards somewhere, be it at Texas and Ohio State, somewhere.
Keep him out of conference, man.
Quinten, if you're out there, if you could at least please get out of the Big Ten, though. If you do it, please.
Please.
I don't want you running against our defense. Please don't do that.
This is so frustrating. When this happened, as a USC fan, I would never expect us to be in any type of NIL situations where we couldn't pay anybody or we were not paying them.
That's not it.
That's not the truth, guys. Yeah, it's not. But regardless,
not
just this conversation, and it's like, I don't know. This whole day has just been.
Tim, I'm not saying we're broke, Tim. What I'm saying is I think these guys are trying to be. It's kind of like when Lincoln does sometimes, right? In a play call, we all know he should just run the ball. He throws the ball. They're trying to be cute with the NIL, and it's like annoying. Just pay our good players so we can keep our good players and go get some better players and pay them. Like, we supposedly have $18 million in NIL money. Just give Quinten Joyner $500,000. He's going to be the starting running back. He's going to get probably the same amount of carries and and same importance that Woody did last year. That guy is a stud. Why just pay him?
You can't.
Why are we trying to be cute?
We can't. A lot of times you hear people say we ran this amount of times and we threw this amount of times. Trying to be balanced on offense is great. It's a great thing to do, right? You want to do that, but you can't just run just for running's sake. I mean, Craig, football. You how many times did they went to the line, saw a front, and then checked out of it to a run? I mean, to a pass, right? How many times do you think that the quarterback had the option of either running, handing the ball off or throwing the ball? He did his read and he threw it instead. I think, yes, I agree. He could have run it more, but I think that's completely overplayed as well. I'm not in your corner yet, Craig. I really do. I don't. The people are saying that Lincoln Riley needs to not call plays. That makes no sense to me.
No, I don't agree. That's stupid. Like, that's stupid.
Well, a lot of people think that.
Lincoln's a great play caller. Lincoln's a great play caller. What I mean is like grossly, he should be running the ball. Like, just take it. Like the game that we lost. I forgot what the game that we lost. We were in the red zone and we did 3 times. And instead of running it, we throw the ball all 3 times. Like the last game, what was not the Notre Dame game.
UCLA.
we won the game. Matter of fact, we won the game. Yeah, UCLA. When we were like in the red zone,
Throw it on first down.
Just running the ball. Yeah, like I'm talking about like times like that, and I was just using that as a metaphor to like with the NIL. Like instead of us just paying somebody, right? We're trying to be cute, like how we are on offense sometimes. Like we try to be cute instead of just doing what needs to be done so we can win. Like I don't think people understand. Like USC is a top 4 program. We should not be struggling and recruiting and keeping anybody. It's 7 degrees all the time in LA.
Recruiting is different now.
I don't understand.
Recruiting is I think recruiting is just different now. I mean, there's some aspects of it that are the same, but it really is a lot to do with money as well. I mean, it just is. It just does, and that's just the way the way it is now.
Can I ask you a question?
But well, let me say I wanted to respond to you. Getting cute at the goal line. The USC has struggled at the goal line all year. But were you guys watching what oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
Texas?
No. I'm talking about like at the very end of the game. Now I know it's the very end of the game, right? But did you guys notice? Oh God, why on short yardage on goal line and on third down we're not using Jacoby Lane more often? You know, just have to do a quick dig, or depending on how the guy's covering him, or even do a fade. It's like almost unstoppable. He just will post up, and they did try that actually. One of the ones that was kind of thrown a little bit outside.
Unstoppable.
But it should have been all season. That's why at the beginning of the year I said that guy is going to lead the team in touchdowns. Now he did, but I thought he'd have a crap ton more touchdowns than he actually ended up with at the end of the year. You know, that guy should be unstoppable on third and short on goal line situations, because who's going to cover him? You know, and I didn't understand.
Nobody.
He was underutilized, and so was Quinten Joyner. Again, I don't go to practice. I don't know what's going on off the field. There's all kinds of you guys, by the way, that go into all of these things. It's not just simply who's your best player. There's a lot to it. I don't know any backstories either, so I'm not going that route. But why weren't these guys used more often? It kills me as a guy watching the game and wanting the best for the Trojans to see them underutilized, and that's what I saw a lot of this year.
Tim, can I ask you a question, right? Because I just started listening to you this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you this like positive and like, you know, with Clay Helton? Like, did you give?
Oh yeah, I was a big Clay Helton fan. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, I was in 2016. Well, hey, you asked me a question, Craig. In 2016, I was. In 2017, I wasn't. Okay. And after the Notre Dame game, when I saw that offensive line, and then I saw Sam Darnold getting killed in 2017 with that offensive line, and then after the season they didn't replace the offensive line coach, I was calling for his head. I don't know, Craig. Are you equating the fact that I'm not thinking the world's blowing up? See, my answer to you, Craig, is are you done? Lincoln Riley is you've already said he's gone. You think he was a big mistake and he can't be successful, right? At USC? Is that right?
I think Lincoln Riley is a great play caller, and I'm with you guys. Like, I don't think he's a good like manager of rosters / recruiter. He just gives me like, you know, kind of like, you know, like you ever been like, I don't know, you ever like met a rich guy and he's just not like a people person, you know, he doesn't give me like
recruits like him.
I've seen the things
players like him,
and,
parents like him.
Yeah, I feel like he can front, but I feel like once they get to know him, like we're just not getting what I thought we were getting.
Craig, what are you basing that on?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna read.
Well, no. You just said something. What are you basing that on? He's fronting.
Like the way he acts, like with the media, the way he talks, answers questions, the way he looks. I don't know, and I could be reaching because I'm angry because we're losing, but it's just his demeanor doesn't like. You guys ever watch Dan Lanning? How he does press conferences? Some of the other great coaches like.
Wait. You don't
like the energy that Lincoln has.
Wait. Dan Lanning's a great coach. Can you say that again for me?
I don't think he said that.
No, I'm not saying he's a great recruiter. He's a great like, people person. Like,
okay.
Yeah,
I thought you said
I
great
don't mean
coach.
like he's a great coach.
Okay.
Obviously, Lincoln is a better coach than Dan Lanning. Obviously, like coaching X's and O's. But I'm talking about it's more to being a head coach than X's and O's, and that's why Lincoln shows he's a great play caller, great offensive coordinator. But like roster management and recruiting, I think we're not getting what we thought we were gonna get.
Dan Lanning's a big part of why they're recruiting well. Don't get me wrong. Guy is a relentless recruiter, a great recruiter. He's got Josh Dupuy, who's a well-known for years, a great recruiter, but he also has Nike behind him. And so how much of it is the recruiting, which I think a lot of it is. But you take Nike away, and what would Oregon be, number one? Number two, think about this thought experiment. So Lincoln Riley isn't that good. Give Lincoln Riley Phil Knight behind him. Guys, what do we think USC is doing today? So let's if we're gonna do apples to apples, let's do apples to apples. Let's not talk about how great these other guys are at recruiting and just forget about the gigantic duck in the room, right? I mean, it's the fact is that Oregon would be Oregon without Phil Knight and Nike. Period. I don't care Dan Lanning. He may turn out to be a great coach and et cetera, and I could eat my words. But nothing he's done has shown me he's a great coach yet. He has a hell of a roster and he recruits very well. What has he done? I mean, he was recruiting really well at Georgia, defensive guys. Wow, it's probably really tough to recruit defensive linemen and linebackers at Georgia the last 10 years, right? And wow, he's up at Oregon right now. It's pretty tough. Look at every coach that's been up there. They recruit very well. There's one common denominator, right? That's Knight. So, I mean, I'm not ready to throw. You give Lincoln Riley this roster, you give him Phil Knight. I don't think we are where we are. Sorry, I'm not going to argue that one.
Yeah,
I'll take a counter argument.
Like $18 million. I think $18 million. We should have a better recruiting class than number 14.
Well, it's not over yet.
We should be at least top 10.
It's not over yet.
I mean,
the high school recruiting is over, and by the way, I agree with you. Number one, so I'll be very clear. I think Preston. I don't know word for your mouth, but I think also, they could have done better. And I think that goes into what I said. I want to give them the flowers. I think Lanning is a good recruiter, and that is important. I think Lupoy and the staff are pushed hard to recruit, and that's really important. But I also know that they've made great inroads here in Southern California, and the kids have grown up here in Southern California as Duck fans just as much, if not more, than they have been Trojan fans. There's a lot going for Oregon just outside of the money in the bags, and I'm not saying that. I don't want to take it all away from Oregon. They're doing hurts. God, they're doing a good job. God, I can't believe I had to say that.
We got to start covering up these logos, man. I had a logo in the back of my hat. I had to turn it around.
So, I mean, oh yeah, huh? I got.
Yeah, we got to start taking those off.
Yeah. So, I mean, you make a good point, that Riley, I think, could do better. I think the coaches can do better. I'm worried because we had some good recruiters on the staff, right? Like in the past, but the development wasn't there, and so we had a staff full of some recruiters, but we couldn't develop the talent, which is half of the puzzle. So yeah, man. I mean, USC has to do a better closing the deal. Where is that? Again, it may not be Lincoln Riley. This is all contracts and agents and all that, and maybe we're getting schooled on that aspect of it. Up there,
that's what I want to know.
They got Division Street.
In charge, man.
So Dave Emmerich, I believe is the guy who's he's listed as the general manager. I don't know what his qualifications are to be a general manager, though. I mean, some of these guys that other general managers, they've negotiated contracts, and that's not fair to Dave Emmerich because I don't know what his CV is. I mean, maybe someone can run it by me and tell me, but whatever it is, it seems like there's something. So the money's there, yes. The coaching staff's there, yes. On both sides of the ball, solid, right? It's USC. I don't care what people say. That still does carry some weight still. That means that we're getting screwed in the negotiation part of this. Or it could also be that, maybe we're getting guys too late. Maybe the staff are great developers, but they're not great recruiters. It could be a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? But whatever it is, it's got to get fixed. It's got to get fixed fast because we're falling behind. We are falling behind.
So Tim, are you? Is this your last year of, undying loyalty with Lincoln? Like, if we get the same result that we got this year.
When did my undying loyalty start? So Craig, it seems like you're trying to paint me in a corner. First, I'm a Helton fanatic. Now you're saying I have undying loyalty to Lincoln Riley.
I'm not accusing you of a bad. I'm not accusing you of like being a Helton fan. I'm just saying I never listened to you when I didn't know about you when Helton was the coach. So I was asking, were you this positive with Helton when you knew like it was time for him to go? So I'm just asking if Lincoln goes, what is going to be year 5? Lincoln goes year 5, and we don't win double-digit games, and we are out of the top 10 in recruiting.
So
is
Craig,
it going to be time? Because I don't want to be. I'm just asking, how long should USC fans be delusional?
Right. So I'm delusional now. Craig, I love the backhanded compliments you keep hitting me. Hey, hang on, Craig. So now I'm going to talk. I'll let you do that. So yes, you did call me that I'm just like undying for Lincoln Riley. I've never been that. Why the hell why would I throw my whole life behind a coach? I've never been, by the way, the kind of guy that has a loyalty to a coach. My loyalty is to my alma mater, which I have 2 degrees from. That's where my loyalty is. My loyalty is the 85 kids that I'm dreaming that are going to come to USC and play football at the highest level. That's where my loyalty is. It's never to a coach that's making millions of dollars. So let's get that one right out of the way. The big thing that really is kind of telling. Sorry, man, you are coming at me. That's cool. Hey, listen, I'm up here. You can come at me all you want, but I will tell you this. Lincoln Riley's gonna be your coach this year and next year, and most likely the following year. I've been pretty clear in saying to everyone this year, that everyone that knows me, I said this next year is the year, or I'm out. And quite frankly, I was talking to someone just today saying, I started off, and I'll just tell everything. I started off saying, yeah, this guy is going to win at USC, 100%, no doubt, whatever, first year. After the defense I saw, after we kind of collapsed, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like, no, we're still going to be okay, but I had some doubts. After the second season, I was all the way down to probably about 75%. Right now, I'm at about 60%. So my undying faith in Lincoln Riley after year 1, when they went 11-3, wasn't undying. I had question marks about the way that game ended, that the season ended. It seemed like there were some bad things that happened, but why weren't we better? But I also remember the fact that he walked into a train wreck of a program. And the fact that they went 11-3 probably says more about him than the 3 losses or the 11 wins with that roster. So Craig, thank you for your time. Thank you for getting me in a bad mood. We'll catch you next time. I hope you call back in. Can't wait. Fight on.
All right, man.
Take care. Wow. Some of these guys, I don't know. So are you a Helton fan? So your undying faith is like, hey, listen, I'm not coming at you or anything. Let's see. Hopefully this next one will be a little bit better. We'll see. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Chris from Katy, Texas.
Hey, Chris, can you do me a favor and just turn down your TV really quickly for me?
Yeah, there we go.
You're good. We got a second. All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Hey, Tim, I see that you're having a lot of conversation out there in regard to the running back Joyner. And there's a little bit of information that you have not been presenting on the show that I thought I'd put on, and let the listeners hear about. There's a podcast out there, Mark from Locked on USC, and just a few hours ago, he reported that Joyner was very happy and pleased with USC. He had no issues whatsoever. He enjoyed his time at USC and all of that. But apparently there was an altercation. The altercation being with the AD and himself. Apparently the AD was talking to him and told him that he was not going to class and he was showing up late for practices. And Joyner responded with, "What are you talking about?" He says, "You must have the wrong person." And it escalated from there. And soon after, he jumped into the portal.
Right.
Just something that you can chew. It's not the first time that the AD has had this kind of a problem with some of the players. And I'm hoping that Riley rings him a new one as a direct result.
Well, I appreciate the Mark you're talking about is Mark Culkin. He does the Locked On USC show. That's a great show. And he would have information. So yeah, that I have not heard that yet. People have talked about him missing class. That's been going around for a while. I did not hear about an altercation with, you're talking about the 8. So you're talking about Jennifer Cohen, and she pulled him aside, and they had this, and then Mark Culkin's. Let's be careful. I mean, listen. I don't. Let's not put words in Mark's mouth or whatever. So you guys go check that out. Mark had a video on it, and then you guys go from there. So yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then that is unfortunate. If that's what happened.
He didn't mention Cohen. He just said the AD.
Well, she's the AD. So
said he did. Go ahead.
Well, she's the AD. She's athletic director at USC. So if he did say if he did say that.
He also did bring up the $35,000 issue that you guys were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, seeing as that this has been brought up several times, and the fact that Mark that actually came out of his mouth in his podcast today, that I would think that there's something, where there's smoke, there's usually a little fire. But I don't know whether the AD is kind of trying to use the you're not showing up for class, you're showing up late, and trying to renegotiate any kind of NIL deal out there, and it's pissing the players off.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't something that's actually spreading through the team, or it's something that's going out there and it's going to cause a further problem later on, where SC's trying to renege on paying the players or something like that. So, what do you think about that?
So I don't know about reneging. Can you elaborate on reneging? So did someone assert that they were reneging on anything?
No.
Okay. So let's be careful.
Nothing on.
So
nothing
again,
on that.
we're just a friendly USC chat call-in show. So let's be. But I do want to I do think that language and being accurate is important. And again, I'm not holding everyone to us. So I don't want to. I don't want to put words in Mark Culkin's mouth. I don't want to put words in Jen Cohen's mouth. I don't want to put alleged actions for Quinten Joyner. I mean, there's a lot involved here. And so all I'm saying is sure. If you remember earlier when I was talking, I said the 35,000, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm crazy, I said, there's something else to this. And I think you're alluding to something else to this. And it's a shame. It's not going to help his situation if all of that is true. But quite frankly, honestly, when was the last time anyone heard? This is pretty funny. When was the last time anyone heard of someone being suspended for grades?
Right. Yeah.
Remember, it used to happen all the time, right? There'd be a dude.
Ineligible.
The dude, but he's ineligible because he didn't pass his classes. When was the last time in major football we heard of a star not making his grades, or I don't know if you're like maybe somewhere in the Midwest, I don't know, somewhere in Indiana, and you have like a tutor writing papers for you. I mean, there's information that we get. I'm sure we don't get everything, but I don't think guys have missed any. When a guy had a red shirt because of grades, I mean, that doesn't happen anymore. So that's pretty interesting. And as the details come out, because things like this started leaking pretty much yesterday. It's the first time I started hearing some of this stuff. You got to be careful. I do know Mark Culkin, and he's credentialed media. He's not just going to throw words out there. So you guys go check out what he said. If he had a scoop on this, and you guys should go check it out and see what he has, because I'm sure because he has plenty of contacts, and especially within the athletic department, you guys should probably go check that out. So until I see it,
he would never report something that wasn't that didn't have some kind of
source
proof on.
Correct.
Or there isn't substantiation. So,
I just want to make sure we get the words all right.
His name and his podcast. So go check it, give him a call, and you can find out that this is something that he just reported on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely. I mean, maybe I'll ask him next time I see him. So yeah, that's that's part of football. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes people just you're young. That's when you make mistakes and you learn from them, etc. And like I said before, there's a lot.
That's right.
There's a lot that went into this, Preston. I mean, your thoughts on it? Young guy.
Yeah, unfortunate, man. Especially if he wanted to be a Trojan, if he wanted to be at USC, then it's very sad to see him go, regardless of what was going on. I mean, if that's the case, there was issues. regarding the university. That's unfortunate and sad to hear because, we wanted to keep him, but it is what it is now.
Yeah, but listen, let's be careful. Let's make sure you guys watch that whole video. Let's be very careful on being accurate with everything.
Yeah.
I saw everybody speculating out there. So as a result of all this speculation on why would this guy want to leave and, number one running back for next year and whatnot, and this point hadn't been brought up, and it was on the other podcast with Mark. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for you and your audience.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I know that you will check it out. So you will find out, and, maybe you'll report back later. But there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up in regard to success at USC and why we started to kind of fall off in the latter part of the season. And it's something that no one has actually even brought up. At the beginning of the season, that Michigan was being put on, was being probed by the NCAA in regard to Jim Harbaugh and the stealing of signs. And as a result, there was a video that came out on YouTube that actually showed an interview with Jim Harbaugh. And he made the comment that stuck in my head and I never forgot, is he said, everyone is doing it. Everyone is doing it, not just Michigan. So that resonated with me a little bit. And when I see Lincoln Riley sitting on the sidelines, never covering up his mic, and the fact that they've had scouting, in the first part of the season for the first 4 games, they got comfortable and they were able to see what he was calling and how they were running the plays. And then we had a big drop off in regard to that. If you looked at the Big Ten championship game with Oregon and Penn State that just took place, you'll notice that Franklin, every time he talked into his mic, he put his hand over his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
If you're noticing, all the other coaches in the Big Ten, they put their hands over their mouth or they put up a card. Lincoln Riley's the only one that doesn't do that.
I've seen, actually, Chris, I have seen him, by the way, just like I'm usually on the sidelines. I don't even know. I take pictures and I'm part of me is I'm always trying to get good pictures of Lincoln Riley. And I have seen him actually, as you discussed, either, or with his hand like this or whatever. I have seen it, but you're right. I've also seen it where he's gone on the side and he's talking.
He needs to be more cautious. Yeah, he has to take a little more. He has to be more cautious.
Well,
if it's something that they're doing and they're stealing plays, well, of course they're going to know what we're doing, and boy, the defense is going to be all over us. So, just something to bring up in regard, and take it with a grain of salt, but maybe it is going to have something to do with it.
And remember, every time he's talking,
only 2 points.
Really quickly though, also, Chris, every time he's talking, he's not actually calling a play too. So maybe when he's actually calling the plays, maybe he covers. I don't mean. There's things to think about, but listen, it's great observation. I appreciate your input. Appreciate you bringing that information over to us. Again, I talk to Mark Culkin whenever I get a chance to see him at the games. I see him almost at every single game. You guys go check that out. It sounds like he has some information that might be very interesting to you guys. Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a YouTube
Thank you.
video you can actually go see. But that's all I have to say for today. And you guys are doing a great job. And hopefully, we'll have a better season next year.
That's the hope.
Sir.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right. Well, I keep forgetting my applause for all of you guys because the calls tonight have been absolutely stellar. Thank you guys. It's been a downer night. I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed this show, but nights like tonight, I'm not gonna lie, I was a big. Just roll back the last 2 years. I've been a big Quinten Joyner fan since he was being recruited to USC when we signed with USC, and I saw that finally started seeing him making those runs late in the season, and it's just a shame that we're not going to be able to see him because again, outside of San Diego, and there's more of them from Texas. Texas running backs have always done really good at USC. I mean, just always. And so he was going to be the next one, and it's a shame to lose him. But it's a roster. We move on, just like college football. Things change. Never get in life, you guys. Come on, I don't get all Buddhist on you guys, but never cling to anything. Yeah, that's how you're going to be a really sad person in life. If you cling to good and the bad, you're going to live a very long and sad life. So embrace change, enjoy change. because change is always coming. And if you hang on to too much, you're just gonna muddle your life with a bunch of headaches.
That is the truth.
So we do have our Wednesday show, which will be a traditional call-in. I want to, Preston, and maybe the chat, if you guys want to go ahead. I want to do a rapid fire kind of call-in show where I'm going to put some ideas out. We're going to start that very soon. And, it's just going to be one-sided. You guys could rant. You guys could rave. I'm going to throw out a topic, and then you guys are just going to come on, and you guys are just going to have at it. And I'm just going to have you guys just kind of go. I don't know. I'm curious to see if that'll work, but we're going to give it a go. Preston, Wednesday, again, we come back. Yep. This was an emergency. We told you guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys all seriously being here. It's always amazing when I see people between Twitter and YouTube, you have 500, 400 people watching. It's sad on news like today, but appreciate you guys as always being here. I know you guys have lots of choices. Like Chris just said, there are tons of people in this space that do amazing work for USC, covering USC every single day, every single week. And, Mark's just one of them. I want to thank right now Rusty, who's a big supporter of this show. If you're not checking him out on Twitter, what are you guys doing? I tell you that every week. And then the Trojan Blade, he's always here helping out. He's in the chat. He's always retweeting my stuff. And the guys over at, I saw Brandon Jones earlier. You guys, he does a great job over there on Light the Torch. So make sure you're supporting all of the people in our, there's tons of them in our community. Always have great ideas. And definitely between all these shows, you guys are so lucky. You don't realize that was like me when I 20s, where I had the press telegram and maybe 5 minutes on the radio once in a while. All right, last caller, Preston. Then we get remember, you guys, Preston. It's like 4.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, not really quick, but really quick. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? This is the last one, you guys. Call you there?
From Irvine. Tim, what is up?
What's up, Keith?
Hey, brother. Good to hear from you. I haven't been to the show in a couple weeks. Preston, great to have you to the show.
What's going on, man?
To your channel, love your videos.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I just want to say quickly, man, this portal. I have my son in the car. We're leaving 7-on-7 practice because you want to play at SC. Football is a year-round sport.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate this unloyal shit, man. I hate it. Okay, I'm sorry. It's driving me crazy. All right. I just don't get it, and I'm having anxiety over here. I don't know what the answer is. Okay. I went to ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, how do we stop people from leaving to the portal? ChatGPT came back with one response. And sorry, kids, put your earbuds on. It said, you're fucked. So I don't know what to do, guys. It's frustrating, and I'll take the answer off the air. Love the show.
All right. Well, thank you, Keith.
Thanks,
man. It was nice seeing you at the Coliseum. That was fun that one time. Let's be careful because the more is coming out. I don't think it's a loyalty thing. I mean, it sounds like it's not a loyalty thing. That doesn't,
No, it's just it's everything.
Yeah. Producer Gabe's in my ear right now. Hold on a second. It's not a loyalty in recruiting, and I guess going forward in the portal and roster management. You guys, it's not about loyalty. It is business. This is a business. It's not. We started off the show, right, Preston, talking about that. This is not, your grandfather's college football, right? It's just not, and it's not gonna be ever again. And this is the part of it. And you need a front office, and you need it to be really, really run well. Without it, you're not gonna be able to compete, and you're gonna fall behind, and your roster is going to look like it. And I'm going to say it, 4 years, we should have a better roster.
And you need a dedicated, competent front office that's solely focused on, retaining players and getting new players into the program. And that's all that they do. And they have to do it at a great level, a high level, if you're going to be successful in college football today.
And I know that USC had its hands tied. I know that the athletic department definitely had their hands tied early on, because USC was very, and rightfully so, because let's face it, the NCAA only has eyes for one school, and it's really pretty much, it starts with U and ends with a C. And we've been on the probation list and target of that feckless institution, but for some reason they got teeth for us. And they, it's kind of weird. They throw us on probation, just for the hell of it, right before recruiting's heating up towards the end of the year. So I think USC has always been too careful. So I gave USC a pass. I gave Lincoln Riley and the staff a pass in year one. I did, because and in year two, because as I talked about, there were schools like Tennessee flipping off the NCAA and say, we'll see you in court. And then there were people like Michigan, really, and like USC and other schools that were like, well, these are the rules and this is how we're interpreting them. And I'm not saying the other schools broke rules, but I am saying they broke rules. A lot of it was bent, but they did break rules, and they were going to get hammered. And they were getting hammered for them, and they took it to court, and they said, it's you're not, federal court says you can't do that, and so therefore tough shit. And so you have a situation where it's not equal, and it's never been equal. By the way, USC's been on the positive side of like having a lot of advantages of being a private university in Southern California. There's always been advantages in college football, but man, you know what? When it's the almighty dollar, when this game was built on amateurism, it just makes it a little bit more nasty. And I wish there was some way they could have figured it out where you didn't have to go complete full bore $1 million deals and money, but that's just the way it is. College football is dead. It's being replaced by college football, but it will never be your grandfather's college football, Preston.
That's the truth, Tim. That's the truth. It's a new day. All
right. Well, I guess Keith, thank you so much. Keith called in. Craig from my newest big fan. I have to find where did the bootlicker one go? I mean, I got to resurrect bootlicker.
Hey, Tim,
maybe you know what, Craig? Maybe I can cut that one and have a new one because maybe I'm a Helton fan now. I don't know. That's a new one for me. But Craig called in. Thank you, Craig. Chris called in. Obviously, Keith from Irvine. Polly Walnuts. Kobe. Thank you, Sam. Russ from San Diego got us started. Appreciate all of you guys, even the ones that hate me. You guys are what this show is all about. Please do call in again, though. I can't wait for the next phone call. And we will be here Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern time. Tell your friends. Guys, if you have not subscribed already, hit that notification bell, because that's how a lot of you guys knew about today. We will be going live randomly like this. Portal news is going to hit hard between now and into the spring. So make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Preston. Preston, let's talk about Preston's Paradise. Listen, you guys. So I'm watching Gabe's videos and Preston's videos, and they're both nailing it. They're putting them out right away about all of these recruits. Make sure, Preston, you could talk about your recruiting videos for the last couple of days.
Yeah, put out a couple videos. Obviously, the Quinten Joyner situation. Some of the guys that we got, younger guys that we got coming in, and yeah, man, just putting out content daily on what's going on with USC football. So you can check me out on Preston's Paradise on YouTube. And yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Another great place. Make sure you're also checking out. Going to LAFB, the USC channel over there for your latest daily news on USC recruiting and everything. LAFB, USC, just put that in the search and you'll find it. All right. Well, I think, Preston, we're done. I think we fooled them again. Thank you to the 418 people that are on here right now. But Preston is now, 5 in the morning? I don't know. I can't tell time when it gets to the East Coast.
It's nearly midnight. It's okay. Right. I do have to wake up at 4 a.m., but it's fine.
Oh, my God, Preston. All right. Listen, thank you guys. Fight on. Remember, you guys, let's chill on the speculation. All the news will eventually come out. Make sure you go check out Mark's work that Chris was talking about for the latest information on that one. Fight on, you guys, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday at 7 o'clock.